myself Abhishek, 4th year Electrical Engineering Department at Delhi Technology University, and I have been placed at PwC India as an associate consultant in the technology domain. So on the very first hand, I should be thanking the placement board to give me this opportunity for sharing the experiences with you guys. Well, the placement procedure, it was a single day process, and the basic shortlisting was on the basis of aggregate. It was 70%, the cutoff was 70%. The first round was an aptitude test. It consisted of logical reasoning, verbal plus quantitative abilities. It was a good combination for someone who has been preparing for both GMAT and CAT. It was for 20 minutes, consisting of around 40 questions. This round was followed by a group discussion, and around 45 students were shortlisted from the first round for the group discussion round. The topics for the GD were very generic, so you don't really need to prepare anything beforehand for this particular round. And around 8 students were there in each panel, and from which out of every group 4 were shortlisted for the further rounds. So out of 40 students, 22 were shortlisted for the personal interview round. The personal interview round was more CV based, so you really need to strengthen your CV for this particular round. You need to know everything on what has been written on your resume. So first of all, my interview was more focused on my internships, since my recent internship was in the finance domain. So questions were put up on this particular field, and apart from this, the other internship was again electronics based in Air India. So I was asked questions regarding radar or regarding surveillance and terms related to electronics. So basically, what I would suggest you is that you whatever work you have done during your college years, you really need to know at least the basics for that particular interview. So apart from internships, what these consulting firms really look for is that you should be able to cope up with the location of your jobs. So since it's a consulting profession, they would really want you to be a more of adjusting or adaptive kind of person. So what I told them was traveling is my passion, and I really convince them that it's not a great issue if I would be posted in northeast or somewhere in secluded areas. So that is one point which you really need to keep in mind, that place of the job location should really not bother you. So out of 22 students who were shortlisted for the PI round, 10 got selected for the second round of interview. That was a telephonic interview. That was more of a formality, I would say. It was a HR interview, and you would be again asked to walk through your resume and your strengths, your weaknesses, and since it was a telephonic interview, you just need to be confident in what you are saying. You should not be really sounding dull or maybe overconfident. So I would just say that be humble, be modest, and be truthful, and that's it. I think you should be able to crack that particular round. So tips to crack PwC, starting from the written round, I would say that LR was relatively difficult than other two sections. So I would say don't really get stuck on logical reasoning, just move on and don't really begin the test with this particular section. Verbal should be relatively easier, and again quant, if you just give some time, you should be able to solve the questions. So for the written round, I think you don't really need to prepare. So be confident and don't really get stuck on any particular question for long. And then for PI, for GD, which is the second round, as I have previously told, that it was a generic topic. The topic was my topic was based on reservations. So again, nothing to do with the current affairs, nothing to do about politics. It's a very generic topic you would be getting. So GD, just follow the basic rules for any group discussion. Be a good listener, and speak sensible, and speak just what you know, as I previously told. So I think you should be able to crack that particular round. So for your PI round, as I stated earlier, that you should be thorough with your CV, your resume. Do not flaunt it. Do not fake it. Just you should be knowing that what you have written on that particular sheet of paper. That's it, guys, for PwC. For any more queries, do comment below and subscribe the channel. Good luck.